God, I love my friends. I love talking to my friends about things we both like. The problem is that they don't have the same opinions I do, and think differently than me against Ten Commandments. So I'm here to radicalize them all. But then I found out that brainwashing is illegal, so instead, I'm watching what they break into my house and force me to watch. Seems reasonable. Listen, everyone has that one piece of media their friends constantly beg them to watch, but like, time, I don't got a lot of that. Why watch things I'm managed by my friends when I can instead watch all of Big Mouth just so I can talk about it for 40 seconds in a video on Netflix no one will ever watch? But I finally decided, no. I will actually let my friends make me experience their hyperfixations. Problem is I have like 30 close friends, so it'll hopefully be the first episode of a recurring series. Let's narrow these down a bit. Rule 1. You must actually watch my videos. Wait, why are you dropping so hard? Wait, let's look at the first rule. I have like 7 more. Wait, stop, wait! So that leads us to my good buddies and pals and friends of Viz, Cyanize, Nader9, Robin, and Gun. Their channels in the description. I messaged them all with the same message at around the same time, and they responded back to me in that order with Dragon Ball Super Superhero, A Silent Voice, Cloverfield, BigTop Burger, and Mortal Kombat Legends Cage Match. Wait, these aren't Cartoon Network shows. Some of these I know a decent amount about, some of these I know literally nothing about, but I have admittedly been pushing all of these off in one way or another. So I think it's about time that I sit down, shut up, and watch some of my friends' favorite media. And hopefully they do the same for me. You will all watch all 36 episodes of Secret Saturdays. Ooh! Join me as I look at all my friends' favorite media. I break my friendship with whoever suggested the worst thing. That was in the contract, you should look closer. I'm sorry, not my fault, let's start. So I almost responded a few minutes after I asked the question. Viz locked the frick in and responded the literal second I asked. Huh, maybe Ultra Instinct is real. Actually a fitting comparison, since we're going back to Dragon Ball, after I covered all the movies a few months back. Also because I was asked. This one will make me watch all of Dragon Ball bit by bit. It's like building a house, but the house is Vegeta. The film in particular is Dragon Ball Super Superhero, which at first I was confused why this of all the films was the one suggested. Then I saw Piccolo as a star and it made complete sense. Piccolo is one of Viz's favorite characters. The most down thing about the film is that it's CGI. It was very Cell, you get it? Like that one villain. Shade look, that's easy to forget this isn't 2D at points. The film is about the Red Ribbon Army being reformed long after they're taken down in canon, with their new commander, Super Mario, finding the grandson of dead evil genius scientist Dr. Gero to help assist him with his master plan involving 2 superhero guys. Goku and Vegeta are off planet sparring, so that means Piccolo has to pick up the pace and take him on. That's my first experience with Beerus and Reese, and I love them. Reese is so much nicer than I thought he'd be. He's just a silly little guy, and Beerus is literally me. I also didn't destroy Earth just because I freaking love ice cream. With that said, as someone who hasn't seen much of the series, it's a bit weird to understand some things. Like, Boo is a good guy now, apparently? Besides that, it was pretty easy to understand. Maybe it's just because I'm part of the Versus community, so I know a decent amount of Dragon Ball. It may be a toxic dumpster fire where you get death threats just for thinking one character should really murder another, when clearly this other character is so much more fitting. But hey, this time follow silly anime. No amount of prior knowledge could prepare me for Gohan's nerd emoji glasses though. I thought Sharon's, oh hey, it's you Piccolo, long time no see, how's the kids? Was funnier than it probably should be. Just a casual conversation from the giant snake dragon god. This is of course a big film for Piccolo. From what I've heard, he kind of gets sidelined in most of the series as a bit of a butt monkey. Well, this allows him to show off his intelligence and flex his muscles a bit. Also, he gets a new form. Hiss. And another new form. Fanta. I do feel like a few of the characters are just kind of there. Like Android 18 doesn't do much. But I do like the joke of the Gotenk. Pam was cute, and I like characters who are little instant sunshine babies who can still throw hands. Entire bodies. And even though Goku and Vegeta were more or less superfluous, their fight was still super cool. If this was part of the Z video, I'd probably say it's the second best. The final battle was great too. Overall, a really great film. I'm not mentioning the Bulma scene, frick you.
What? Chocolate! I can't hear you!
This leads us to the other anime movie I was recommended, A Silent Voice, from Cyanize. Cyan, I gotta say, probably made like 3 other people really happy, since they've also been begging me to watch this. The difference is we actually watched a show my video. This starts with young Shoya Ashida, a school bully. Usually bullies in fictions are either fairly tame or comedically over the top, but Shoya is a rare one where he's actually a very realistic take on one. This kid is a right scumbag. Just absolutely insufferable. And it gets especially bad when a new student, Shoko Nishiyama, comes in, instantly becomes his next target, thanks to her being deaf, and needing to write a notebook for anyone to understand her. It's so bad that he destroys multiple pairs of her hearing aids, and she eventually needs to switch schools since it gets that bad. Also, for the reason, when he decides to make Shoka his next target, it's shown with him killing a squid in a video game. Are you worried? Okay, so, This film is kind of peak fiction, ain't it? I'm gonna throw a spoiler tag here. Skip to the next segment if you haven't seen this movie, because this film hits so much harder if you know nothing about it. They focus on kids Shoya for just long enough to realize that this boy ain't right, but cuts to the future before he becomes completely hateable. As a young adult, Shoya is a mess. His reputation as a bully crippled him even to this day, to the point where he's contemplating suicide. The first time this film was going to mentally break me was the scene with his mom finding out his suicide plans, basically forcing him not to. It really hit close to home. He eventually runs into Shoka after all these years later, and attempts to finally make things up to her after all the bullying. This film is so beautiful, man. From the general message about bullying being told way better than any of the anti-bullying advertisements my school showed me, to how everyone Shoyo can't communicate with is shown with an X over their face, only ever peeling back when he finally can make a connection with them, like with Steven Universe. I was told that I would cry, and I did! Twice! Once at Naruka chewing out Shoka for being herself, and again at Shoka's attempted suicide. Shoya's entire character arc of finally realizing he's the problem, trying to patch things up with all his former friends. Shoya is just adorable, but she's just so pure. Even after everything, she just wants to be friends with people and constantly apologizes. As you can probably assume from me being a cartoon YouTuber, I was bullied a lot as a kid, so I really connected hard with this. Especially when Shoka starts talking and she's conscious of how butchered her English is and how annoying her voice is. Because, well, you have ears, you can hear me. This is a spoiler section, so you know this, but this film is fantastic. Maybe my favorite anime film. And if you decide to ignore the spoiler tag, I still highly recommend this film wholeheartedly. You did it, Cyan. You're a true friend. Except you include Ruralina porn in like 2 videos, so I guess I gotta kill you now.
Run! It's Godzilla!
It looks like Godzilla, but due to international copyright laws, it's not.
For Invader's suggestion, he gave me Cloverfield. So obviously I've known of this film for a while, mostly because, well, the one that saw the video. But because when this film came out in 2008, it's probably the biggest example of viral marketing since Blair Witch. A website named after its upcoming release date popped up showing several strange photos, like scared people and whales with massive bites out of them. Then an evil company named Tagarado that makes food with contaminated products. A protest group named Tito that goes against Tagarado, and MySpace pages for all the characters. Timeless classic. The big thing is every trailer refused to show the monster, leading to a lot of discussion on what this film even is. Was it a Godzilla movie in disguise? Mass panic over a creature that didn't exist? Giant robotic Donkey Kong Jesus riding a puff of smoke? Or maybe it's Voltron. I am serious, people actually thought that.
I saw it, it's alive, it's huge!
Honestly, in a world where people demand original films, but refuse to actually watch them since they're not usually as talked about, building all this hype was a great call. Now, Cloverfield was something I knew about, but never watched, because it's got something I really like, something I really don't. I love kaiju films. How could you not? Big monster. What I don't love is found footage. I should love 80% of a product just being people standing around as frick all happens until eventually there's a jump scare. You call it experimental, I call it boring as frick. There's a few I like previously mentioned Blair Witch, but I can say, this film is one of the better ones. It starts with HUD, a cameraman filming some stuff for his friends, until suddenly, from the depths of the sea, it's the king of the monsters! Basically, it's a kaiju movie from the perspective of its victims. While admittedly not the most original idea now, after -1, Shin, and a ton of analog horror, but this come out nearly a full decade before all those, it does stand out. We slowly see the group piece together what exactly this thing is. Like the scene where we only see its back on a news report. A TV store where half of the TVs are showing reports of a creature containing like 15 9/11s. And the other half are playing SpongeBob. I came into this film knowing what the monster looked like, and I know there's some disappointment that's just a monster, nothing super special, but I think Clover is a very unique look for a creature. Alongside the little parasites that appear too. And for some reason it sounds like Donald Duck. Oh, the cameraman is played by T.J. Miller. Please tell me he dies. Abrams, I forgive you for Rise of Skywalker. So yeah, I like this one, but it's not where the segment ends, because Invader also mentioned the sequel, and hey, both films combined are less than my 7-hour cap, so sure, I can do it. 10 Cloverfield Lane has basically nothing to do with the first. It's not in found footage style, nor is it a kaiju film, instead dealing with a woman who wakes up after a car crash in a bunker with 2 men, who claims something awful happened outside. One of the men is John Goodman, and wow, as someone who knows him for his more comedic roles, John is terrifying in this. How he's this soft-spoken and seemingly nice conspiracy theorist who's right on some points, but can suddenly snap at a moment's notice. While this film is just a woman and the other trapped guy trying to get a grasp of Goodman, including just going along with the game, you see a happy family that can't just be 2 kidnapping victims and James P. Sullivan. I really love this film. but the ending does give me some pause. I figured that the reason they couldn't leave and stay in the bunker was because the monster was out there. But no, the Cloverfield monster does not appear at all in this film. A different monster does, but not the one we met in the first film. It really has no reason to be in the same series. Heck, was Cloverfield even a notable enough name 8 years later? I don't know. But it didn't matter. I love the duology, so much so that I dove and found there was actually a third film. Invader didn't suggest this one, but I was curious. So hey, let's give this a look too. Wonder why Invader didn't bring this one up. Oh, it's because it's bad. The original film was a fun twist on kaiju and found footage films. It lane was its own film entirely. This is just any horror film trapped in a space station, stripped to its bitter essentials. Like if the original Alien was bad, or if Event Horizon didn't leave mental scars. A character is suddenly introduced, and they're obviously a traitor. The captain makes a heroic sacrifice. There's a creature that parasitically infects the target. It's everything you're seeing with nothing new. It does try to blend the three movies into one universe though. Most obviously is the final shot showing Clover, or what is apparently its mother. That's cool, but besides that, this film sucks, man. Invader, you didn't suggest this, but I'm still gonna kill you. Also, why in the first movie were they so shocked that people knew what Superman and Garfield were? Aren't they like the most iconic characters of all time? Are they stupid?
That's because you're a clown!
If you're curious what inspired me to make this video, it was heavily inspired by my friend Robin and I's podcast, The Spills and Stripes Show. Go subscribe. Where in one episode, I watched a Lupin film, and they watched Over the Garden Wall. So of course, I had to reach out to them for this too. And they suggested BigTop Burger. Unlike the rest of these, this isn't a movie. It's a web series by Worth the Kids. I literally only know of the series because of this freaking creature of a man who was on Robin's favorite character list, which I also did in the cast. But I didn't know Worth the Kids. I remember watching this really cute animation of Jason Voorhees bring some horror icons to a convenience store, where Jason talks using sign language, and also that one Wizard Beer fake commercial that overtook the internet for a time.
So this is where Major Klug lives.
I grew minors!
BigTop Burger is a series following a group of food truck vendors who dress as clowns, and how they interact with their eccentric boss Steve. They also a rival food truck named after zombies, who pride themselves in making food worse than their competitors. It's actually really funny. The casual tone of the shorts give them a really unique feel, with a lot of it being ad-libbed. I love what I'm gonna just call casual weirdness, where strange things just kind of happen, no one really questions it. Caesar, the creature Rob had on the favorite character tier list, is actually the best character. He's just a freaking thing. It's hard to talk about this one since it's a short comedy series. I don't want to spoil any of the jokes, but like, it's only 20 minutes full, and it's all on YouTube, so just go watch it. It wasn't until Steve fought an elk to get more meat when I realized that it was actually 3D animated. It's made in Blender and looks amazing. I genuinely thought this was 2D. For a silly series, it has so much effort put into it. Now, I did feel kind of bad watching something so short for Robin, so I did actually watch another Lupin film for them. It's Castle Cagliostro. But for my thoughts on it, you've got to watch the podcast. Watch my podcast for my thoughts on cock. And ending this off with a gun suggestion. Mortal Kombat Legends Cage Match. He had a suggestion last, despite replying back with a joke immediately, and also replying with the same joke like 3 seconds before Cyan did the exact same thing. Y'all ain't slick. This is the 4th animated Legend line of films, based on different Mortal Kombat characters each time. This one being Gun's favorite character, as I'm very well aware, Johnny Cage. I've rolled a few combats, but I wouldn't say I'm the biggest fan of the series. I'll play it if someone wants to, but it's not my go-to fighting game. So you might be shocked to find out that I actually have seen the first 2 of these Legends films long before I even considered this video. If you're wondering why a non-MK fan would watch these, the answer is 1, Daffy Duck, and 2, Shaggy Rogers. I'm just saying, if the third film had Yogi Bear rip a guy in half in the intro, I'd be there day one. You might ask why I just didn't watch the third film, but you know the old saying, once Cloverfield paradox, twice shy. Plus you ain't gotta watch any of the film to understand the others. The film is about Johnny Cage trying to make a movie about mimes. Vile. Until he gets set up in a conspiracy about a cult trying to resurrect the dark god Shinnok. I prefer a Scorpion film for its action. This is probably my second favorite of these films, mostly for Cage himself actually having a few genuinely really funny lines. He's voiced by Joel McHale here, which was definitely not giving me community-induced psychic damage every time he spoke.
And take those off.
Because they make me look good.
That's not relevant.
Speaking of voices, this is one of the final roles of Gilbert Godfrey, who plays Johnny's agent, who's actually an evil demon. So an agent.
Only nerds like that stuff.
And the big man!
He also says the F word more than your average Heaven Hotel character in his 5 minutes of screen time, because I realized this film wasn't violent enough for that R rating without it. The animation is really good. Just like the other films, it follows the semi-realistic anime look, but with very flashy and bright colors. Yeah, I like it. Similar to Superhero, probably get more into it if you like the franchise, but it's fun. Oh, and since I felt bad, I also did watch Snowblind. Not what to say about it. Here's a ranking of the films. It would probably unfair to give the latter three more, but it balances out with Silent Voice being the best here, and I'm already aware Viz has this multi-step plan to get me to watch every Dragon Ball movie. Now where's the film for my favorite Mortal Kombat character, Goro? Or Homelander? And that's all 5. Usually I would like do like a comparison or ranking of these 5, but they're just so distinct, it doesn't really make sense. I think I can fight to the death though. Hello, it is I, Shoya Yoshida, Silent Voice 2016, and I'm here to... Holy frick, what was that? Was that a goblin? Did you see that? I am Johnny Cage. Dang, Johnny Cage low-key pretty annoying right now. I will say though, the first 2 Clover films are great in their own way. BigTop Burger is funny, and it's also short, so you have no real excuse. Superhero and Cage Match are fun even if you're not into the series, and Silent Voice is kind of peak fiction. I think my least favorite is probably Cage Match, but I did have to watch Cloverfield Paradox. Even if Vader didn't suggest it, I'm still blaming him, and he is being sent off Strike Friendship Island. I kind of think it's like a recurring series, having my friends like request things for me to watch, and I, discuss them. Thinking like less than 7 hours for like groups of movies or TV shows, so something like that. I may even extend it to things I have seen, but wouldn't talk about normally in a dedicated video instead of just new things I haven't seen, or things that have been so long that I forgot about them. Only rule is no games, because those take way too long. Even I'm pretty sure Gun Cyan could force me to play Hat in Time if I combine strength. However, they're in separate friend groups. I am simply too powerful. Heck, I could even bring back some people from this video. It could be like retro tracks in Mario Kart, but instead of Moo Moo Meadows, it's Robin. Give them a ramp or something, it fits. So hey, if you're a friend of mine, just think a bit about what you might want to suggest, because I might eventually reach out to you. Only rule is, to qualify for this, you have to also watch my 1K special. Now you might say, oh, but Stripe, that's nearly 2 hours long. And if you do, why don't you just like go look out a window and think about what you just said? So yeah, this video was a ton of fun to make. Thanks to all my friends for playing ball. I hope you all look forward to the next installment of this epic series. It'll be the final episode because I don't have many friends.
Secretly, I'm very lonely.
Oh, is this about the ad lib? Oh, I can't believe that director snitched. Okay, you tell him.